how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. This is a bit of a weird video. I don't really know why I'm doing it. I've seen a couple of other reviewers doing it, so technically you could say that I have stolen someone's idea. Don't all the famous YouTubers do that though? I'm sure they do. Anyway, today I'm talking about 5 fragrances that I regret buying, all for different reasons, not because of one, you know, residing reason. It's just things that I bought and then thought, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't have done that, or just, you know, that was dumb, or just various reasons. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on too much, I'm gonna get straight into them so you can see what they are. So the first one was quite a shock to me. It's Violet Blonde by Tom Ford. I've had such a good run with Tom Ford fragrances. It's been a rare occasion that I've smelled his fragrances and thought, I don't like that. I'm talking about the signature line mainly. I own 4 of them already. I own White Patchouli, Black Orchid, Velvet Orchid and Sahara Noir, all amazing. I thought, oh, I'm safe here, I will buy Violet Blonde. I like violets, I like blondes. And I blind bought it, which was a big mistake because Tom Ford fragrances aren't the cheapest, but I got a little bit wrapped up in it and I wanted it. And I bought it and then it came and I thought, this is just really bizarre. I'm all about the bizarre, believe me, I really am. I love bizarre fragrances. I don't discriminate against fragrances at all. But when it came, it just kind of felt a little bit too bitter, a little bit too sour. I don't feel like it felt like it was Tom Fordy. It was very strange. And I eventually just ended up selling it on swiftly because there are lots of Tom Ford. Because there are lots of Tom Ford fans out there and somebody always wants Tom Ford fragrances. So I kind of, you know, managed to move it on quite quickly, but it just didn't really fit the signature line for me. I love the boldness of his fragrances and this one wasn't very bold, and I think it just had a few clashy, kind of strange notes that didn't really work. So that's the first one. The second one was a celebrity fragrance I bought, which was Kim Kardashian's Honey. I probably should never have bought that fragrance because honey is a very, very dodgy note anyway, in general, in fragrances for me. It can go one of 2 ways. It can go voluptuous, you know, gloopy, gorgeous, sexy, warm, viscous kind of smelling, or it can go pissy. And Kim Kardashian's fragrance, I loved the bottle of it, I got wrapped up in the way that it looked, I loved the little bee, it reminded me of Elon Musk's Freak with the little snail. Lots of factors contributed to me buying it, and it was a risk. It was a blind buy again. Moral of the story, take care when you blind buy fragrances. When it came, I don't know what happened, but when I smelled it, there's very few fragrances that have made me, I don't want to say be repulsed, because that's a very strong word, but something just really turned my stomach when I smelled it. I thought it was really sharp, it was strange, it didn't smell like the luscious honey that I was expecting it to smell like. The bottle was great, but you can't just keep a bottle on your shelf full of perfume that's not your bag, and I had to move that one on very swiftly as well. The next one's quite a shame actually. It's Jaipur India by Boucheron. I'm not usually one for the men's fragrances anyway, but a flatmate of mine that I absolutely adore, and I don't keep in contact with him anymore because he's moved to a different country, used to be this artist and he used to make gorgeous masks, and he had a really nice selection of fragrances, and he pointed out to me Jaipur. Love India, everything fit, on him it smelled amazing, it was incensey, masculine, kind of really gorgeous, and I bought it probably 2 years ago actually, and I was flatmates with him about maybe 10 years ago, so a couple of factors are the reason that this one went wrong. Reformulation is the first one, that's the big factor. The second one is that it smelled amazing on him, but crap on me. I just feel like I didn't suit it, and it smelled amazing on him, and it just didn't translate to me at all. All of what smelled exotic on him, and Indian, and all of this gorgeous masculinity just fell completely flat on me. Maybe it's just not my my bag, so I gave it away to a very dear friend that I work with. So unfortunately, it didn't work. Moral of that story, things don't always smell great on you when they smell good on someone else. The next one is a huge disappointment for me, unfortunately. It is Lady Gaga's Fame. I really bought into the hype of this fragrance. I bought into the things that they promised it would deliver, and it completely fell flat. They promised a disappearing ink type fragrance where it was black and you would spray it on and it would disappear. They promised a push and pull technology instead of the normal pyramid scheme where it would develop over time. They said that notes would reveal themselves at different times and it would be this push and pull thing. It was boring, fruity, syrupy, didn't disappear on my skin, didn't do push and pull technology. I've run out of fingers. I literally bought into the hype of that one. Moral of the story, don't always buy into the hype. The next one is kind of slightly embarrassing because again, I got wrapped up in the packaging, name and overall advert of the fragrance. There's a company, I'm not sure if they're worldwide, they're called Naf Naf. They were very popular when I was in my teens in the 90s. They had Naf Naf and they had Nafco 54. And they released a fragrance called Fairy Juice. Embarrassed. Here's the advert, if I can find it. Maybe I can't find it, I'll figure it out after. The bottle was nice, it was kind of peachy with the bow on it. I kind of got a little bit lost in it. And what I realised from this fragrance is don't get caught up in the advert and the marketing. The main note of it was peach when it came, but it wasn't only a bad peach, it was a very synthetic, sharp, horrible peach with tons of alcohol distillation-y type liquid in it. So it smelled very synthetic, it smelled horrible, and the moral of that story is don't get caught up in the prettiness of the bottles and the adverts. So that's it, that's the 5 fragrances I regret buying. I'm not sure how that's going to help any of you in any way. Maybe it will deter you from buying them. Maybe you love some of those fragrances I've bought. I mean, no offence by it, I really don't. My personal taste is different from yours. But yeah, I've learned my lessons. I've been burned over the years with buying things based on whim and the prettiness or looking at the notes or the hype. And it turns out, it's never usually what you think. That sounds really pessimistic. It turns out things aren't always what they seem. So yeah, the moral of the entire story is, whenever possible, test things on your skin before you look at that little bow or you look at this strange disappearing liquid and all those kinds of things. Anyway, Mark Someone Oak, come over down there to subscribe and I'll see you guys soon for another review. Goodbye.